Yeah, how's it going, Bobby? It's Michael, and I'm going to listen to some of your practice tests right now.
Hi, Michael. This is Bobby. Now I am going to post one speaking practice exercise, which is integrated speaking practice.
Got it. Let me make sure I have the rubrics here. I have the writing, don't want that one. And the independent here, let me click on a link here, give me a second. I need to make sure I'm looking at these rubrics so I can give you a very accurate score. Okay, we got it?
Number 4.
All right.
Both students agree that academic knowledge and personal experience are required to attain a job, as mentioned in the article.
Okay.
The first student thinks that both classroom and personal experience are similar. For instance, a computer programmer learns his...
Say computer, a computer programmer, not computer, but computer. Stress on the second syllable.
Basics from the class, but he will have to face several problems that he has not been taught in the class.
Okay.
He has to solve even more complicated problems with his own experience.
All right.
The second speaker thinks that both classroom experience and personal experience are different. He thinks that to get the classroom knowledge, one has to go to the school for several years.
Okay.
Whereas to get the personal experience, you don't need to attend the school. Instead, he acquires his personal experience through naturally.
That's killing you right there. I almost gave you 26 on this, to be honest with you, but you got to that last part. It doesn't work like that. You have to make sure you don't have a lot of hesitations in there.
That is through his life. That's why he thinks that both are different.
Okay, so you lost your way at the end. Before the last 10 seconds of your response, though, you had a very good response. So because of some problems at the end there, with some pausing issues and so on, I'm going to put you at about 2.83 out of 4, 22 points out of 30 on this practice test.
Hi, Michael. I would like to post another speaking practice,
right,
which
buddy,
is
let's hear it.
integrated speaking practice number 5.
Okay.
Both students have difference in their opinion about the article. The article prohibits the use of cell phone in the campus and also mentioned that the violators will get punishment.
And one thing you might say there, instead of that difference, you can say both students respond about a notice, or both students react about a notice on campus regarding cell phone use.
The first student disagree with the
disagrees with
policy. He thinks that the students like him cannot use the cell phone for their personal as well as job-related purpose. Because someone from the workplace cannot reach them if the students cannot use the mobiles. In addition, he thinks that it would prohibit them to use the cell phone during emergency situations in the campus. The second student agree with the new policy. She thinks that
I would say, on the other hand, and then mention the next student to show that the information from the two students is clearly different. One likes the policy, the other does not.
Students like her would not get distracted by the ringtone or loss of attention.
Say ringtone, tone.
Someone uses the mobile phone inside or outside the classroom. Moreover, she thinks that the policy would allow the students to use the mobile phone during emergency situation. Thank you.
Okay. So in this one, let's take a look at the rubrics. I think overall you covered, I think, the most important points. I think topic development wise, I think you should probably put that, on the other hand, in the middle, or however, in contrast or conversely, some word to show the difference of ideas. You had pretty good control of your language use. Delivery, you had some minor issues with delivery, as I pointed out. So this one, I'm going to put you to about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test.
Hi Michael, this is Bobby. I would like to post one more speaking practice exercise, which is integrated speaking practice number 6.
Okay.
The reading illustrates a type of threat of nuclear energy, while listening explains another threat of nuclear energy with a well-known example.
There, say threat. Threat, the tongue between the teeth, the nuclear threat. That's probably the way I would say that one.
The reading says that it is very hard to control the nuclear nations, whether they can use it for energy purpose or for making weapon.
Okay.
The speaker adds up another threat of nuclear energy, which is the threat of accident.
Now, one thing you didn't say in the reading passage is that the International Atomic Energy Agency has difficulty determining what countries are doing with their nuclear energy. Are they using it for weapons or to use it for energy? So you left that point out in the reading. That's going to hurt your score right there.
For instance, the nuclear power plant exploded in the former Soviet Union, cost many people's lives, and threatens radiation hazards. Also, it caused a huge economic burden on the former Soviet Union. Therefore, if any accident occurs either from
good transition word, by the way,
from the nuclear power plant or from the nuclear weapon, the effect will be the same: loss of lives, radiation-related hazards, and the economic burden.
Okay. Okay, so I think that you paraphrased this one fairly accurately. It was a difficult task. This is the most difficult one that I have, really. On this one, I'm going to put you right around 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30. So some minor intelligibility issues. The topic development, you left out a pretty big point from the reading there, and that will also affect your score.
Hi Michael, this is Bobby. Today I'm going to post integrated speaking practice number 7.
All right.
The reading describes one contribution of Dostoevsky Theodore Fujita, and the listening adds up with more contributions. The first contribution by him was he identified the tornado families and also identified the wall cloud and the tail cloud in a tornado.
That's good.
He also mapped Palm Sunday tornado and found that there will be more, and found the tail cloud in a tornado. He also mapped Palm Sunday tornado and found that there will be more, and found that there will be more vortex in a tornado.
Nice correction there. I like that. So you said fine, you changed it to past. That matches the verb tense you used before. So good. You're becoming more aware of your own errors. That's a good sign.
The second contribution by him was he made a system.
And nice. I like your use of the transition second.
To identify tornado by linking damage and wind speed of a tornado.
So damage and wind, not vin, but wind speed.
He analyzed a tornado in 1974, and by this system, he explained the intensity of over 148 tornadoes.
Okay.
His next contribution was to identify microburst and downburst, which is the intrusion of dry air.
How about which are caused by an intrusion of air
into the thunderstorm. This study helps him to identify weather-related aircraft accidents. These are the 3 major contributions by Dostoevsky Theodore Fujita.
Okay, not bad. So overall, I think your topic development pretty good, clear organization. You had a complete, accurate response. Good control of your language use. Didn't notice any major problems. Delivery, not bad. You're speaking pretty clearly. So didn't have any major problems there. So I'm going to put you at about 23 to 24 points out of 30, 3.0 to 3.1 out of 4 on this particular practice test.
According to these materials.
All right.
Hi Michael, this is Bobby. I'm going to post another speaking practice exercise, which is integrated speaking practice number 8.
Okay.
The reading describes one type of learning and the speaker adds up by providing a good example.
Okay.
The reading explains about cooperative learning. This type of learning requires students' active participation to solve the problem or to identify a solution for that.
Okay.
They can solve it by themselves or by help of others.
Remember, when you get to the end of the idea, your tone should fall, but you still need to pronounce those words clearly, especially, remember, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs. This is called sentence rhythm. We put more stress on those kinds of words and then less stress on prepositions, determiners, and auxiliary verbs.
Unlike the traditional setting, this learning techniques requires students
This learning technique requires
knowledge and impart it to solve the problem.
Okay.
The speaker provides a good example for cooperative learning. Here, the speaker
Might say something like, in addition. Clearly the information is related, so don't use a word like however. That'll kill your score in a New York minute. But if you say in addition, now we know that you're adding to the previous idea.
ask the students to create a problem, divide the group, and ask them to find the best possible answer.
Okay.
If they could find an answer, then they can go to the next level, or if not, then they have to find an alternative. Thus the teacher
Alternative. So you had a lot of problems with word stress there. Alternative.
acting as a guide to solve the puzzle by utilizing the students' current knowledge, and therefore it's a type of cooperative learning.
That word alternative just killed your score right there, but it's alternative. You want to be careful there. So I'm going to give you about 3.0 out of 4 on this one. So you had some minor intelligibility issues, but the one alternative, a lot of native speakers would not be able to understand what you said there because of your word stress. So be careful there. Language use was pretty good. Topic development, strong. So I'm going to give you 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. All right, let's go to the next one.
Thank you. Hi Michael, this is Bobby again.
All right.
I'd like to post one more exercise, which is integrated speaking practice number 9. The speaker made 3 main points to oppose the theory mentioned in the reading passage. The first criticism is that the conflict theory does not explain clearly that how a person becomes deviant or a criminal. In fact, it only mentions about continuous conflict between
It only mentions, don't forget the S there.
capitalistic and the working class.
Okay.
The second criticism is, unlike in the theory, the speaker says that there are many laws in the United States aims to protect the poor and the rich people.
It aims to protect. So no S there because you're using that as an infinitive.
Therefore, it is against the conflict theory.
Okay.
The third point is that there
Not
is
bad. You're almost there with the TH, but the third point. Don't forget that tongue between the teeth. Third.
no empirical evidence in the theory that suggests how a person transforms into a criminal, and this also contradicts the theory. So,
No, wait a minute. Let's go back to what you just said.
into a criminal, and this also contradicts the theory.
No, contradicts the theory.
So these are the 3 main points to speaker uses to oppose the theory.
Okay, these are the 3 main points a speaker uses to oppose a theory. That's pretty good language use there. So this one, again, you had some language use delivery issues that made it a little bit difficult. So word stress, right now, it looks like you're doing a pretty good job pronouncing a lot of your your words and such, but sometimes you have word stress issues. Sometimes you put S's where they're not needed, or you don't use them when they are needed. So those are two things that you can be a little bit more aware of as you continue to practice your speaking. Alright, so let's take a look at the rubrics here. I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 due to some problems with delivery.